Ladies and gentlemen, if you've been here and you've been keeping up with the marathon, as I like to call it, shout out to the person that gave me that nickname. You know about everything going on with the check or the fake check and the live check and somebody that got fired, which we're going to talk about that in a separate video.
Damn.
The multiple lawsuits and the federal case that wasn't, and the dust up with Lynn Honor and all that kind of stuff, and KKC and everything else, right? Well, in the fallout of all of that, Marianne Lorient has been reacting to videos and where individuals are, in her words, or I guess in her estimation, are being unbiased about the situation.
You sure about that?
And one video that she reacted to was one Jaguar Wright. Now, you know who Jaguar Wright is. If you don't, she is a singer-songwriter. She has a channel on YouTube where she talks about social issues and all things hip-hop, okay? And conspiracy theories in hip-hop as well as on some of her own experiences. But in this case, Jaguar Wright reacted to the drama going on between her and Umar Johnson, and more specifically, Lynn Honor. So we're going to get into this reaction and see what Marianne has to say, because Jaguar Wright, well, let me just put it this way. People that seems to take Marianne's side more than Lynn Honor or the situation in general, she is praising. So we're going to react to Marianne Lorient reacting to Jaguar Wright, okay? So thank you for your viewership. You've made it this far. And if you would, please hit the like button. And if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. And if you want to further contribute to the channel, of course, you can hit the join button down below to become a part of the union of working men and women. I have members only videos. Hype the video if you would, please. That would get me in the algorithm. Thank you all that have been hyping my video. Thank you very, very much. And hit the Cash App, $ Mr. Normie. And without further ado, let's listen to Marianne Lorient and Jaguar Wright.
Lynn Honor and Umar Johnson and Marianne Lorient.
Let me pause. I don't know her personally. I know of her, Jaguar Wright. The reason that I chose to do a reaction over her video is because I appreciate her view, her neutral and non-biased view on this situation. Let's go.
Hey, Mumu. Thank you. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for the support. So seriously, this right here. How do we get into this conversation? Because this conversation, in my opinion, it's getting way too much traction.
And I absolutely agree with her. You have content creators that are taking my video that has nothing to do with the situation and just to make a video over my content and continue with this story over and over and over. And I've explained, Mr. Honor knew there was a live check. There's no need to rehash old story. But some content creators choose not to understand, distort the story out of flattery for Mr. Honor. But let's continue.
Okay. Now she said some content creator, of course, you know, she doesn't use her S's, right? That content creator are making this story bigger than what it is. Well, Marianne, you're not making it any better reacting to other people's content, reacting to the situation, okay? Because you could have simply let this story die like Lynn Honor did, just, you know, took a few days off like he did and then come back to it and give your explanation however you want to do it, and then move on with your content you want to go. But no, you caught the backlash because, again, let's say that Lynn Honor knew this was a bad chick just like you did, right? Okay, cool. Well, in that case, you could have vindicated yourself, this might be bad logic here, but you could have shown the actual check to vindicate yourself And then that would have put the heat back on Lynn Honor, in my opinion, okay? My humble opinion. But you didn't do that. You said, well, I don't have to show anybody, I don't have to prove anything to anybody on YouTube. But since Lynn Honor has left the chat, or the situation rather, right? You have continued to try to vindicate yourself to no avail. Again, if there is an actual check that you cashed for $68,600, you could easily show it and it would vindicate yourself. Then we'd be back on Lynn Honor's ass. But you haven't done that. So now, because yes, people are going to take sides, unfortunately, right? They have chosen the side. And the side that they have chosen is not you. And you're not going to be able to change that no matter how many videos you react to, no matter how much you put the story out, no matter how much you said Lynn Honor knew, no matter how many times you said somebody got fired for this check, blah, blah. Until you show an actual check, I mean, it is what it is. Let's continue. Oh, wait a minute. Went too far. That was wrong.
This story over and over and over. And I've explained, Mr. Honor knew there was a live check. There's no need to rehash old story. But some content creators choose not to understand, distort the story out of flattery for Mr. Honor. But let's continue.
You go ahead and just give it a few minutes. I'll chime in. You say what you want to say, but I think I'm going to end it, and I'm going to let y'all kind of understand really well from my perspective on what I think of this and how it's going. So we have here Umar Johnson, and we have a documentarian, Lynn Honor, who Lynn Honor has been going at it with Umar for years. He goes live multiple times a week talking about this. Supposedly there was a check, and you see it at the very top. There was a check that was allegedly written out to a person who Dr. Umar wanted to have produce a documentary on him. Is that how the married person was involved?
I'll get into the details because even that story is a little wishy-washy as well.
Yeah.
So you were saying?
And let me pause before she continue. I believe the hatred Mr. Honor had towards Umar and my anger towards Umar, us connecting, was an extremely bad combination. And I think the lines were blurred. I took full responsibility. What I didn't appreciate is Mr. Honor not stepping to the plate and taking his part of the responsibility when he knew there was a live check. Let's continue.
Okay, now, Marianne, Lynn Honor did take accountability. Maybe he didn't take as much as you thought he did, or he should have, or because, again, you said that he knew about the check and he didn't, because he didn't say that, you feel like he's not taking accountability, and that's your position, okay, no problem. The other thing is that, again, you keep talking about this, like you're not going to make people take your side on this. You're actually making it worse by continuing to talk about it. Lynn Honor's done with it, and many other people are done with it. We're at, right now, like you said, we're just eating off of it at this point. Let me go back and see, what did you just say a second ago?
Responsibility. What I didn't appreciate is was an extremely bad combination.
That's what I want to talk about. This. So in your last video, you were talking about how Lynn Honor possibly hates Umar Johnson because of allegedly his wife met Umar Johnson, and so you're also trying to frame Lynn Honor as more of a villain because you feel like you have a dislike for Umar versus Lynn having a hatred. No, Lynn Honor does not hate Umar. In my estimation, she doesn't hate Umar Johnson no more than you hate him. Okay? If both of y'all have the same mission, well, y'all messed up on the check thing. Both of y'all have the same mission to get rid of to see Umar Johnson pay for scamming the community, right? But you're like most people in the anti-Umar Johnson said that they try to make themselves seem like they have a moral high ground over Lynn Honor, and you don't. All right, if we're talking about taking Umar Johnson down, then both of you are the same.
And I think the lines were blurred. I took full responsibility. What I didn't appreciate is Mr. Honor not stepping to the plate and taking his part of the responsibility when he knew there was a live check. Let's continue.
Well, I mean, that's all that I know about this story to this degree. Again,
So let me just put things into context, and since we're having this conversation. First things first, if I'm correct, it was last summer that the hunt for Umar Johnson took like full flight. Am I correct?
Right.
And Jaguar Wright doesn't really mess around in the other sectors of the red, black, and green community like Umar Johnson. The hunt, if you will, for Umar Johnson has been going on for many, many years now. Okay, so but nothing against Jaguar Wright. She's seen it from, I guess, where maybe either where the daughter came in or where Lene came in or where the bank account thing came in, because they were one behind the other. So you might have caught it somewhere in between there, either the daughter, Lene, or the bank account, whichever one came first. So depending on where you are, all this stuff happened last year. So a lot of people caught up with Umar Johnson because of these scandals and incidents.
She was one of...
And let me pause. Last summer, that is when I came on the stage of YouTube, where Mr. Honor introduced me to YouTube. And yes, when I came, every content creator, Umar Johnson was pretty much the hot topic for everyone, making Umar Johnson video. Let's continue.
The distractions that they were using to get people to talk about things other than the Diddy trial or the Diddy sentencing, because I believe that was like right around the time it was in between, the verdict and him being sentenced to that they started really going heavy after Umar. And I asked, because I kind of jumped into the conversation as well, and I said, hey, I'm not trying to stick up for him. Never been a fan. I could really care less whether or not he's guilty or not. I'm just trying to figure out why he's become such hot content. Why are there like dozens of accounts going after him, talking about him? Why now? And it was really interesting because people were trying to really line things up. But the thing is this guy, Lennon Honor, has been pretty much like leading the charge for years now.
And once again, shout out to KKC, shout out to other people that came along before Lennon Honor was on the scene doing this stuff. Again, Umar Johnson has been a hot topic for a long time. Jaguar Wright might have just not noticed it because of the heat he was catching last year, because he had multiple situations going on all damn near simultaneously. So I understand Jaguar Wright's position on this. Lennon Honor has the biggest voice. He has the biggest platform when it comes to the anti-Umar Johnson community or sector, if you will. So he's the one that everybody's going to reference when it comes to all things against Umar Johnson, right? But of course, and she said there's dozens of channels that are making content about Umar Johnson. I mean, you might want to call these people like, they jumped on a bandwagon. You can say I did that too, all right? Because I didn't start out doing Umar Johnson content. And there's other content that I still do besides Umar Johnson. That just, me personally, I have dibbled and dabbled talking about Umar Johnson over the years when something big comes up, right? Like the bank account thing, or before then it was the woman that was doing at the basketball goal when she came out with Tasha K and stuff like that. But I mean, yeah, watching Umar Johnson, you can't help but like, what's this guy's deal? Like this school for years and years and years, and the whole Cashapp and the PayPal and the phone number and the live streams and the book, speaking engagement, all that kind of stuff. Like, it's hard not to notice Umar Johnson once you start looking into him. It's kind of hard not to talk about him.
Like, he's been talking.
And let me pause her. Lennon Honor is the king within the Umar Johnson sector, meaning everything he vomits, it's the gospel truth for every content creator. But let's continue.
Who else is doing the research, Marianne? Again, people like KKC, got Messi mentioned, not Messi mentioned, but Mind Chaos Brew now. You got other people that's in the mix now that are Uncle Mo TV. There's other people that's actually went to the school. They went and looked up records in the city and things like that. So these people aren't fly by night, okay? These people know what Umar Johnson went to, the tax records, okay? His income, all right? This stuff can't, yeah, come on.
Umar, if I'm correct, for anywhere from 6 to 8 years, like approaching, like when it gets to the point where your only content is one person for almost a decade, you have to ask, what's the sanity behind all of this? Because it sounds kind of insane to me.
And let me pause. I absolutely agree with her 110%. He has more than 80 videos on Umar Johnson. And then he goes live 4 to 5 days per week for 4 hours talking about one individual. That is a bit on the obsessive side. But this is YouTube. Everyone's entitled to create their content the way they see fit. But let's continue.
And I guess I feel that way because I know what it feels like to have a single person or a group of people just talking about you incessantly over and over and over and over again, thumbnail after thumbnail after thumbnail. Like when it gets to the point where you go through someone's library and you can pull up more than 50 videos with the same name being targeted in the title, there's something going on there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You see where it's going, right, people? She's siding with him because her own biases and anger and things like that, right? And yes, I mean, but there's channels on YouTube that talk about a single person. It ain't just Umar Johnson. There's channels talking about Brother Polite. There's channels talking about rappers like Jay-Z. Some people have a certain person. Some people have a certain niche. They don't just talk about everything. They talk about certain groups of people. There's channels that talk about politics. There's channels that only talk about Donald Trump. I mean, do you want to call it excessive? Maybe that's a matter of opinion or whatever. But the fact of the matter is, for one, it makes money. That's been proven by Lynn Honor and other people, right? And myself included. It makes money for sure. And number two, these people keep making mistakes to have to be talked about, or they're doing something that's outrageous to be criticized. So anybody can make a channel talking about just Umar Johnson because he does ridiculous shit all the time. He says something crazy. He says something meme worthy all the time. You know how many memes are out there about Umar Johnson? I mean, I could go down a list of stuff that I can just put in a video that something Umar Johnson said that was meme worthy. It was funny and completely ridiculous. All the scandals he's been in, all the speaking engagements he's been on. Every time he's criticized a black celebrity or a white one or a politician. You can break any of this stuff down at any given day. Umar Johnson is content.
So apparently there's an Umar Johnson sector, just like there was a Jaguar Wright sector, just like there was an Angie Stone sector, even though nobody knows what really happened to that or what that was all about. Just like there was, there's a Krishan Rock and Blueface sector.
Thank you.
Very, very, very odd surveillance, in my opinion. So this is where I come into understanding what's going on here. So Lynn and Honor, he was finding all kinds of people. He was digging through financial records, contacting, former lovers, former supporters, going out of his way to, highlight these people and give them a platform. And then came that woman.
And let's pause. What she's saying is absolutely 100% correct. Mr. Honor is the one who came and retrieved me and brought me on his platform. I never sought it out, Mr. Honor. I made a comment regarding of a movie that I made. I had difficulty like everyone else who were commenting in chat, and he went out of his way to reach out to make contact. Let's continue.
And Marianne, you accepted the invitation and came on his platform. So don't act like you're freaking this big superstar or something. He sought you out and you're like, okay, I guess I'll come on Lynn Honor's channel. You had an axe to grind with Umar Johnson too. And because of that, you were probably glad to speak your truth on Lynn Honor's channel. All right? So, I mean, if you want to talk about the check thing, the check situation, just stay on that, okay? Because now you're trying to make yourself seem like, you're this, above reproach person where he came and sought me and blah, blah, blah. Okay, yeah, and you made a choice to go on there too. You had a problem with Umar Johnson, like you said, just like everybody else came on there. And Jaguar Wright said, he sought you out, like you said, y'all had a conversation and you came on his platform. So it's not like he was begging you. You accepted.
Who, had been intimate with Umar. She had spent some time with the mother.
Lene.
And, she flew from the Midwest to Philadelphia. She had all of this inside information. And I questioned that whole, just the legitimacy of all of that, because I know what it's like, because I've had it done to me. There are people here on YouTube.
And I'm going to pause her. The woman that she was referring to was Lene. We all know Lene. I'm just trying to give perspective. Let's continue.
On after people that, claim to have, real estate in my life, real association in my life. And then the next thing you know, they're sitting with people, they're doing interviews, they're, making up a bunch of crap, saying a bunch of unreal things about me. I've been through it. So I understand. But Lennon Honor, he was behind this whole thing. And it was really wild because his name started getting a lot more juice after that woman that he brought forward, because the two of them were going to take down Umar. And she went to Trasha K and sat with Trasha K. And she...
Let's pause. I apologize that she says that. It's not polite for name calling. But within the Umar sector, I have noticed how numerous content creators do name calling, which is disrespectful and very childless. But let's continue.
Lene, I'm sorry, Marianne. Now, it's no secret that Jaguar Wright and Tasha K don't have the best relationship, right? So I'll leave that right there. But Marianne, you're saying that it wasn't nice for her to say that about Tasha K, but didn't you insinuate in the previous video that I covered that you insinuated that Lennon Honor was jealous of Umar Johnson because, again, allegedly, because I don't know for sure myself, that his wife met Umar Johnson? Didn't you insinuate that, oh man, like that's gotta be rough, that's gotta be tough? Like your accusations against Lennon Honor saying that he hates Umar Johnson because of the connection with his wife, isn't that not nice and disrespectful from you? I mean, asking for a friend.
Did that interview, and the next thing you know, Lennon Honor's name started getting really, really, really hot. And then the next thing you know, he's got thousands of people sitting in his chat, and everyone's cheering him on because he's going to take down Big Bad Umar, and he's got all of this access. They were able to get into, his bank account, and then the next thing you know, his bank account is being shut down. And then all anyone's making videos about is this, that, and the third, and oh, he's this, he's that, and then the next thing you know, Flacco and just everyone piling on. And so he's got all of this momentum, and now he has all of this juice here on YouTube. And now he's got another victim, another woman who was managed by Umar, and her name is Marianne Laurent, and they bring her.
So she's referring to me, Marianne Laurent, the second victim. But I want you guys to understand, by the time Lene and I came on the scene during the summer, where everyone was making Umar Johnson video, when Leonard Honor introduced us, he was at 50,000. We have grown his channel to 30,000, even though he introduced us. And he has made quite a bit of money from my video and from Lene's stat video. Let's continue.
Marianne, I want you to understand something, okay? Again, like I said earlier, Umar Johnson is content. So guess what? You were just the latest scandal of Umar Johnson, okay? Because if you came out on your own channel, somebody else's channel, Lennon Honor would have still reacted to it and still would have got traction off of it. Luckily, he was able to get you personally, which I guess came out negatively because now y'all had a fallout, right? And again, Lennon Honor does deserve critique in this situation because of how it happened and his part in it with this whole thing, because he should have seen it if he didn't. True enough, absolutely. And whether he knew it was fake or not, we'll never know, because he's never gonna. He's not gonna give the behind the scenes conversations, which you haven't either, really, to a certain degree. But you saying that basically you contributed to Lennon Honor's further success on the channel. His channel's been growing since last year, since the whole bank account thing happened, since the daughter came out, stuff like that. His channel's been on an upward trajectory anyway. So let's be honest. Did he get traction off of your story? Yeah, he did. But do you think that he wouldn't have got it some other kind of way? In my opinion, from watching Lennon Honor for the last, I don't know, at least 4 years myself, he would have grown his channel one way or the other, because he has a solid, loyal, dedicated fan base. And even if he didn't grow it, he still would have made money. So there's that.
Forward, and the next thing you know, she's got a channel on YouTube, and she's got subscribers, and she's got all of this information, and Umar.
And by the way, Lene, I'm sorry, Mary. By the way, your audience is because of Lennon Honor. people came to your channel on the strength of Lennon. Okay? So the reason you're able to have a voice now is because of Lennon Honor. So please be humble when it comes to that. If you want to talk about the check thing, fine. But don't act like you yourself are not also successful. You have channel memberships, you have subscribers, you have people watching your channel, you are monetized. So you actually owe your success on YouTube to Lennon Honor because you didn't get monetized until he vouched for you.
This and Umar did that to me, and he came to me and he used me and he did this and he did that.
Let's pause.
And
Now, she is correct. I did have a channel. You all are looking at my channel now. My channel was pre-exist before Lennon Honor. My channel grew after he introduced me, and you all could testify to this. I have numerous times thank him publicly for his support. But it
Well, if you thank him for that, then leave it. Let that part of the story be that.
was a two-way street. Just like he introduced me, Mr. Honor gained just as much, if not more. But let's continue.
So stop trying to make it seem like it's like he gained more than you did. You didn't have, I mean, your channel was dead before, I'm sorry, your channel was nothing before Lennon Honor, put you on. Yeah, you had a channel, great. Again, everybody, if you're listening, watching my video right now, you actually have a channel too. You just haven't turned into a, mainstream platform to be able to produce videos and things like that. But everybody's on YouTube technically has a channel. So there's that. But please stop trying to make it seem like, well, Lennon got the S amount of subscribers, blah, blah. You have still over 4,000 subscribers. You do have channel memberships. You are monetized, okay? That's way more than you had 6 months ago or in last summer, okay? So it sounds like the partnership, though it dissolved in a very, in a bad way, both of you still benefited.
they got the big takedown. There's a check, right?
Mm-hmm.
They got a check. And she's going to bring the check to Lennon Honor so he can show how fraudulent and what he was doing with all of the donation money, and the check was a fake. Boop, boop, boop.
So I'm going to pause her for a second. I'm going to pause her. There is truth to what she's saying, but Mr. Honor knew there is a life check, and I made it clear publicly I didn't appreciate how he handled the situation and how he took no accountability. But I believe the hatred Mr. Honor had for Mr. Umar Johnson and the anger I had for Mr. Umar Johnson.
Okay, the hatred and anger. Marianne, here's another question, y'all. For y'all, let me answer me in the comments. Hate and anger. Your anger can easily turn to hatred. And again, like I said, I don't think Lennon Honor hates Umar Johnson. I think that he has a disdain for how he's treated the community. Same thing how you have a disdain for how he's treated you and thus the community. Is that hatred? No, but you're framing it as that so you can have a more high ground in the situation, like I said before.
Us coming together, the lines were blurred. But Mr. Honor,
Blurred.
There's a life check. I've told this story numerous times. There's no need to rehash it. What I want to say, I appreciate this woman looking from the outside. Let's continue.
All of that momentum. He's been building all of this momentum on this big takedown. All for the evidence.
She did too.
Fake. And so, I've just been going around the algorithm, and I've been looking and watching, and now, and it was just really interesting because once all of that got exposed and people looked to him, he says, "I'm sorry. I trusted her. I believed what she had to tell me. And that's why I didn't know. But she's a liar, and she will be given no more grace from me. And I apologize, and whoopie-whoopie-woo." And now
Let's pause her for a second. What she's saying is absolutely true. He gave a simple, bland apology and refused to take accountability for his part in all of this. He knew there is a life check, and I would continue letting you know he knew there is a life check. But let's continue.
on her. So now all of these content creators are making this middle-aged woman, because she looks like she's in her 50s. And don't get me wrong, I'm nobody's spring chicken. I'm going to be 49 this year. But I know she's older than me.
And let's pause.
And now she's...
I am healthy, I am fit, and I look amazing for my age. I work out 3 times a week. Yes, I'm 4'11". My weight is 126. But let's continue.
I mean, you had to say that the Jaguar Wright gave you props. Okay, she said you're an older woman. She didn't say you were ugly. You didn't have to give us your body dimensions and say you look great, blah, blah. I mean, she didn't lie. You're older than her. That's the truth.
Now she's the story. She's the liar. She's the this. She's the that. And don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that, she shouldn't be held accountable. But for her to be the only person being held accountable, in my opinion, is kind of crazy. And especially considering that the person that brought her here hasn't been held into question at all. How does anybody even know who Lennon Honor is? Like, would we even know who he was if it wasn't for his content? Umar.
I'm not even going to get into the logic behind that. Would we even know Lennon Honor if it was for Umar Johnson? I mean, you could say that about a lot of content creators that react to other people. I mean, would y'all know me if I wasn't reacting to Lennon Honor and Lene and Marianne? Would y'all know me? I mean, I've reacted to other stuff. I've done, man content and stuff like that. So, I mean, which I still do. But, I mean, okay, let me let Marianne finish.
And she is absolutely right. This is the end of this video. I appreciate her insight. I appreciate her looking from outside as a neutral person, but able to give an adult opinion. Able to be not taking sides, but to point out both parties should be held responsibility. Like I said, the lines would blur. Mr. Honor had that check in his possession for 3 weeks. He knew. Thank you for some of you that took the time to look at this. Like I said, without interruption, you could go to her page if you want to capture this whole video without interruption of my voice. I appreciate you. Good night.
Thank you, Lene. I'm sorry. Damn, I keep being sorry, Lene. If you watch the video, I apologize for mixing y'all up. Thank you, Marianne. Thank you. If you're still here, thank you. If you're still here, thank you very much. Thank you. So I'm sure that Marianne will react to more people that are being neutral in the situation, which really, she just wants to hear people dunk on Lennon Honor. Okay, I get it. You caught the short end of the stick in the situation, but like I said before, you could have extinguished the ire that you're getting, but you decided not to because allegedly you did get paid, and there is a live check out there, or AKA real check, that was cashed to get your money. You have chosen not to show that, and because of that, well, we're just going to stick to the fake check that everybody saw, all right? And that part, Marianne, is on you, all right? That being said, thank you for attending another episode of the Working Man Podcast. I am your host, Nicholas J. Fury. Let me know what you think about this reaction of Marianne reacting to Jaguar Wright's opinion about the check gate. All right, let me know what you think about it down in the comment section. And please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and the notification bell. We're out of the door, and I will see you on the next video.